much like putting on any event in the United States, you want to do something in the park in the United States, you go down to the permit office, you fill out the form, you pay your fee, they give you a stamp, you run your event, you're gone. That's it. In India, it's a little different. You know, you go to the, public office. I had an assistant, this guy Webov, who was really proficient at the bureaucracy. But we go in there, he finds kind of the lowest guy on the ladder. Pay whatever, let's call them facilitation fees you got to pay. And then ultimately getting to the guy who finally puts the final stamp on it. So we get our permit. We show up at the park at 6 in the morning. We've got a pretty big setup. It's a big pitching cage, the radar guns. We've got about 10 volunteers that come with us, and they walk around and hand out flyers and try to drum up people to come over and try their hand. We've got our film crew. It's a pretty big setup. And so we're setting everything up. The Calcutta police come over. What are you guys doing? Really abrupt, really harsh. They show him the permit. He's like, no, this is not correct. You need the permit from the military base. And the cop just starts rounding everybody up and starts handcuffing everybody. They're confiscating our equipment. They're breaking things down. I'm like, now I've seen Locked Up Abroad. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to Calcutta jail. No way, no how. And Webov just goes to work. Listen, please, we'll get this all squared away with the military park. I just need 1 hour. And I guess for whatever reason, this lieutenant relents. And he lets me and Webov go. And I'm like, great job, Webov. And he tells the driver to go to the military park. And I'm like, what are you talking, military park? I was like, let's go to the airport. I'm not going to jail. And he's like, no, we can't do this. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. So he finally convinces me to actually go to the military base. And I'm thinking, like, we're going to be shot right now, because now we're going, instead of Calcutta jail, now we're going to military jail, which is going to be even worse. And all I want to do is have a bunch of kids throw a baseball around the park. That's it. I mean, I'm not trying to start World War III here. And much to my surprise, Webov talks his way onto the military base. They let us in. I'm not even Indian. He's not even Indian. He's from Dubai. We get inside, and we're sitting in this little waiting area office. We explain everything to, one of the underlings. He gets on the phone, and he calls Colonel Q, the guy that we need to get permission from. Let's suffice it to say, Colonel Q's not happy to hear from us at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Colonel Q comes walking into the office in full military dress. It's unbelievable how many medals this guy has. It's almost like the NASCAR racing suit of medals. All I can think about is, we're going to be hung. It's going to be a military, some kind of funeral. We're dead. Everything rests just on Colonel Q. And strangely enough, Colonel Q is apathetic to our cause, but ultimately he's pissed that now some stupid cop from Calcutta police has made this his problem. Webov calls the number and gives him the phone, and Q lays into this cop. I mean, he is yelling at him, screaming, "Are you joking me? Getting me up at 7:30 in the morning because a bunch of kids want to throw a ball around the park for some TV show?" It's like, you don't bother these kids all day, or you're going to be picking up garbage for the rest of your life from the Calcutta slums. I'll have you cleaning toilets in the military barracks for the rest of your life. Just screaming at the guy. And I'm thinking, like, even in my broken Hindi, I can tell that this guy is in huge trouble. Huge trouble. It's complete redemption. We get into the car, and we're with our driver, and I high-five the guy, give him like the biggest hug. I'm like, you can't believe it. And he's like, what? And I said, Colonel Q, he hooked us up. He's gonna let it. He gave us the permission. Webov actually got it done. And the driver just looks at me and says, yeah, I know. And I say, how do you know? What do you mean? Whoa. What do you mean you know? And he's like, oh, I just spoke to Colonel Q on the phone. And at that moment, it hits me like a cinder block. Webov had dialed the wrong number. He called our driver by mistake. So Colonel Q had given that whole tirade to the driver. Just as I'm realizing this, we pull up to the park, we get out of our little minivan, and I see everybody's in cuffs. And this guy, this police lieutenant, is seething, waiting for us to return. Just second we walk up to him, he cuffs us. We're trying to explain to him, no, we got the permission. My driver starts to try to explain things. They cuff the driver. You could tell the cops are like eyeing the radar gun like, ooh, this is a nice one. Yeah, this will be great for the traffic police. And, they are literally like divvying up our stuff like some kind of pirate marauders, right? Webov is sitting there saying, please, please, you can lock me up forever, but call Colonel Q's office. We have his permission. If I'm lying, lock me up forever. But if I'm not, just imagine the trouble you're going to be in if Colonel Q gave us the permission and you still lock us up. He calls over to the military base, and I'm only hearing one side of the conversation. I'm only seeing the police lieutenant. But you see from this confident, kind of really aggressive face, all of a sudden, start to slacken. And you start to see his face almost go white. And he's gesticulating to his underlings. Uncuff him, uncuff him, uncuff him, what are you doing? What are you doing? Screaming. Give him their stuff. Put that radar gun down. He's screaming at these people. Why are you wasting my time? Why are you arresting? Get all these people out of here. Get this van out of here. Get this. And I mean, he just goes nuts because, obviously he's heard that he's going to be cleaning military latrines if we even have so much of his word comes back to the military base that he's molested us any further. So they let us all go, and we set up our thing and we conduct our contest. But literally, I came within 12 seconds of ending up in the bowels of a Calcutta jail for this contest.
Click subscribe. You look hot today. No, don't go away. Stay. Watch more videos. Please stay with me. I'm so lonely.